Welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to see how Python inputs will be taken and how Python is going to process the input and how it is going to show the output. So generally while taking an input by a Python, it is going to take input by two ways. First one is raw input and second one is input. Means raw input means it is an input which will be given by the user each and every time, isn't it? The input is based upon the input, the output is going to depends. So you can see here example x is equal to raw input. Whatever the input I am going, I have to define a term called input. So here what is the thing you want to give, you have to write enter first number. So next, if you here if you have written enter first number instead of 12, I am if I write Srinu. So here it is going to check what type of statement you are have written. Print of type x means type means what type of statement, whether you have written string, int, char, float, double, like that. It is going to check type of a variable. Second one is input type means whatever the input you have entered, based upon the input it is going to process. So here you have entered x is equal to input of 10. So type of x is means it is going to display int. Next, like that, based upon the input it is going to define the task. So here input is the thing. If you give even a string or if you give even character, the string character will be also treated as a string only. And the second one is if you are giving the input as a number, if you are giving in a double quotes, then the number also will be treated as a string only. Why? Because it is the number is treating as a string. That is the thing which you have to remember. So here you can see, here I have written type of input, enter a value. So I have entered 10. So here class, you are checking what type of class it is. So you have got a class as str. Str defines that it's a string. Next, fifth line, enter a value 10.5. It is a class string. Next, enter a value true. It is a type of string. So here this is a second example. So x is equal to input of enter first number, y is equal to input of enter second number. The first number whatever you have entered it is stored in x. The second number whatever you have entered it is stored in y. Next, I is equal to int of x means whatever the input given in whatever the input given in x, the input will be stored in I. Whatever the input given in y, the input will be stored in j. So that's why I is equal to int of x. The input should be in a form of integer only. So here you are checking the condition whether you have given in integer or not. If it is not integer, the process is not going to continue further. So I is equal to int of x, j is equal to int of y. After checking a type of a variable, next it is going to print the operation whatever you require, the sum I plus j or the difference I minus j. Based on that it is going to perform. So here in seventh line, enter to perform addition, we should have two values. So that's why it is asking enter first number 100, enter second number 200, the sum 300. So in a previous video I already told, by the Python programming processing will be done in a two types of variables, like one is static and another one is dynamic. So this program comes under the dynamic mechanism. Why? Because whatever the program you want output, each by executing each and every time the output is going to change. Why? Because if the input characters change, it means automatically the output will also change. Here the input first time is 100 200, the output is very another value I got 300 based upon the sum of those two values. If I enter that while executing the next time, if I enter first value as 5, second value is 5, I am going to get a sum 10. Like that, based upon the input whatever we have given, it is going to give the particular result. Next, x is equal to int input of enter first number, y is equal to int input of enter second number. Print the sum x plus y means x and y. So here this is one type of input. X is equal to input of enter first number, y is equal to input of enter second number. After you are entering input, it is going to check whether you have entered input or not. But if you want to, if you don't want to increase your code without checking also should happen in same line, means you can write this way: x is equal to int input of enter first number. Means whatever the number you are entering, it should be in a form of integer data type. Y is equal to int input of enter second number. Print the sum x plus y. So next, print the sum. You, instead of writing here the 9 lines looking more, here 3 lines also looking more. To reduce the code and to make optimization, you can write even in a single line, like print the sum int input of enter first number plus int input of enter second number. So if you enter two numbers, automatically the sum of those two numbers will be displayed. So this is what another program. So before going to the next one, let's execute this. Enter first number 10, enter second number 20. So automatically the result will be displayed. So whatever the program you are writing, you can write in multiple ways. So here the same result will get for the this program, or same result will get for this program or this program. Whatever the program you are writing, the result will not be changed. So the if the lines of code decrease, it means automatically the complexity of the program increases, means the easiness and efficiency of the program increases automatically. So here the next one is enter number. Means we are writing the details of employee, and we are printing. So e number is equal to int of input of enter employee number, e name input of enter number. So here you can see, observe in line number 1. Here in the line number 1, I have given eno is equal to int of input, means I am giving a condition of integer data type only. In second line, if you observe, I am giving e name is equal to input of enter employee name. If you give like this, the input you may enter 10, 15 also. Why? Because the Python cannot identify the difference between a number and string, isn't it? Here, if whatever you give in, and if you enter employee name Srinivas, it will take. If you enter employee name 10 also, it will take. Why? Because whatever you have entered in double quotes, it will not recognize. It will recognize as string only. Next, e sal is equal to float, means salary will be in a form of float value, like 12,840 rupees dot 50 paisa, like that. Float, it should be in a float value. Now, if it is not, if the salary is 12,000, you have to give 12,000 dot 00, like that. It you have to give as a float data type. Next, EADDR is equal to input of enter employee address. Next, married is equal to bold, means there are in a condition of marriage you are having only two options, like either married or not. Next, e-married is equal to bold input employee married. It is asking if it is, if the married you are going to get true, if you are not married it is going to display as false. Print confirmation information. So whatever the information you have entered, you are going to confirm. So after this you are going to get print enter please confirm information. Next line, employee number, whatever the number you have entered, you have going to get employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address, and marital status. So this is how you are going to get result. First it is going to get please confirm information. Next, employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address, employee married. So this is what a program of multiplication of the two numbers. But here the multiplication is the logic, everything is going to takes place only in a single line. So a comma b is equal to, you can check here, a comma b is equal to int of x for x in input, enter two numbers, split. Here what is the operation of split operation is, if I enter 10 20, if I enter 10 space 20, this the split operation is going to divide 10 and 20 as a two numbers, isn't it? So a comma b I have given, I am going to write 10 space 20. The split operation means it is going to define 10 is different number and 20 is different number, it is going to break. So print product is A star B. So whatever the numbers you have entered in place of A and B, it is going to perform multiplication operation. So by running this program, it is going to ask enter two numbers. I am entered at 10 comma 20. Product is A star B, you have written as 200. So here A comma B comma C is equal to float of x. For x in input, enter three float numbers. Means here I am giving a three inputs, A comma B comma C. So here for these three inputs, I am going to perform a split operation. Split operation means it is going to divide the input into three parts. Means why it is going to divide only three parts here? I have given only three variables A, B, C. That's why it is going to divide three parts. Print the sum is A plus B plus C. So it is going to addition of the numbers whatever you have given, float numbers only. Why it is going to do only float numbers means here we have given a condition called float. So here if I give here A, B, if I give here four inputs, what it is going to do means it is going to display error. That's it. So next, eval means it is going to perform the evaluation of our input in a single line without making it very complex, isn't it? X is equal to eval of 10 plus 20 plus 30. So print of x. Why I am writing here print of x? Why I am not writing print of p, print of q? Why? Because the result is stored in x only. So that's why 10, 20 plus 30, 50, 50 plus 10, 60. So I got a result as 60. So next, x is equal to eval of input of enter expression. So you have to enter one other expression based upon the operator precedence, it is going to give the result. So I have entered expression 10 plus 2 into 3 by 4. So 10 plus 2 based upon the input whatever you have entered it, I am going to get output based this in this input. I am going to get output as 11.5. So the eval operation, whatever you have written, the eval operation can be performed in list, tuples, set, dictionaries. In any operation, you can perform the eval operation. So here you can see I is equal to eval of input of enter list. So you are taking a list. Next print type of I means what type of input you are giving. Next print I, what type of what you have written in I, it is going to print. So second line is different, second line print statement is different, third line print statement is different. So for example, if I given a square brace and if I given a 10 comma 20, in a second line it is going to print type of I means it is a list, so it is going to print as list. In the third line it is going to print of I means what I have given in the list 10 comma 20, so it is going to give the numbers called 10 comma 20. So till now whatever the task we have done in a opening Python IDLE in a white color screen. So there is another way to execute a Python program. You can perform the task even in a command line also. Command line argument. So here whatever the arguments you have taken, everything we can give in a command line. You can process and then you can see the result also in a command line itself. So to run the program in a command line, for example, my program is in a D drive and in my program is in a Python class. To run a program, you have to enter a directory where it is located. D colon slash means it is in D drive. Python class py test.py means Python class py is a in Python class py the program name is test.py. In that program, what is the input I am giving? 10, 20, 30 means I am giving a three values. Based upon the three values it is going to process. So the process, it is how it is going to process means it is going to process by a system module. A system module can be defined as SYS module. So here if you want to check type of an arguments whatever you have given, or to check the arguments of the statements, here you are writing import argv means argv defines that this is an arguments. Next print type of argv means whatever the arguments you are passing, whether you are passing integer, float, character, boolean, string, so it is going to check type of the particular arguments whatever we are passing. So next write a program to display command line arguments. So next from SYS import ARGV from system means whatever the different import statements we are having, I am taking ARGV import statement. Next print the number of command line arguments is len of argv, means whatever the input you are giving, it is we are going to take the length of that particular argument. Next, print the list of command line arguments, means whatever the list you are giving, you are going to take the list of command line arguments. Next, command line arguments one by one, means you are going to get command line arguments one by one. Whatever you have given, it is going to get in next line. Next, for x in a arguments, means whatever the arguments you are giving, you are going to store the complete arguments in a x value. Means if I give input like 10, 20, 30, the 10, 20, 30 values are going to store in x. So next, print of x, means whatever the values are stored in x, that values will be printed. So d python class, I am running py space test.py 10, 20, 30. So after running this, first what is the statement it is asking? The command line argument, the number of command line arguments are len of argv, means the number of command line arguments are 4. I am passing 4 statements. Next, the command line arguments are test.py 10, 20, 30. Those are the 4 statements I am passing. Next, the command line arguments one by one, means it is going to display one by one 10, 20, 30. So this is what another program. From this import from system, you are going to import arguments. First, initially you are making sum as 0. Next, ar arguments is equal to argv of 1 colon, means whatever the arguments you are passing, first of all you are passing with one value from 1 to starting infinity, whatever it is value you are having in end. For x in args, means whatever the arguments you are having in args, that values will be passed to x. N is equal int of x, means whatever the values you are having in n, you are checking whether the input you are having all values are integers or not. So if all values are integers, it is going to next line sum is equal to sum plus n. So it is going to perform addition operation and it is going to display result. So what is the name of the program? For py test.py, it is the name of my file. So we are going to pass arguments now to perform addition. So I am passing arguments 10, 20, 30, 40. So after passing arguments, the sum is, I am going to get the sum. Here I have written sum, so the sum is 100. So here we are, you can see here from system import argv, you are importing on arguments. Next, print argv of 1. So you are printing an arguments whatever you have given. So next, d python, so this is a location of my file. So I have passing an arguments of Sunny Leon. So I am going to get an output as Sunny. So whatever the statements you are passing, you are going to get as output. Next, py test.py, again I am executing the same program and I am giving a same input. So I am going to get only first part of that particular name. So why we are going to get first part of that particular name is I am passing the input with the help of only single quotes. So if you give the input, if you try to execute your program once again, if you give the input in a double quotes, you are going to get a complete output called whatever you have given. So next, from system you are importing arguments. Print argv1 arguments 1, argv2 arguments 2, and you are performing addition. Next, print int of argv1, means whatever the arguments you are passing, it should be in a type of integer type. Next, int of argv2, next arguments also should be in a form of integer type. So print 10, 10, 20 are the statements for me. So argv1 is 10, argv2 is 20, the result is 30. So here if you are giving float values also, you are going to get output. Why? Because here I have not written print int input like that. If you given a condition called input integer like that, means okay, you are going to give only if you want to give any type of data type. Here you have to remove a term called int, isn't it? So next, from system import arguments, next int argv is equal to 100, means whatever the arguments you are passing, you can pass arguments up to 100. Next, I am running the program, I am passing in values of 10 space 20. So here you are going to get an error. Why? Because whatever the values you are passing in a command line, it is displaying by the help of an arguments whatever you are passing, but the values you are passing it is out of range. So that is why it is giving an input. Next, output statements, whatever the statements you have entered, it is going to display the output statements. By the output statements will be displayed based upon the print statement. So print is used to display whatever the statements you want to print. So here print string, it is going to print the string. Print hello world, it is going to print hello world. Print hello slash n world, means slash n means what it is happening, hello in one line, next line you are going to get world, in two lines it is going to get. Next, print hello slash t world, it is going to print only hello. It is an escape statement, it is going to skip the word called world. Next, print 10 into hello, means whatever the statement you have given, it is going to repeat that particular statement 10 times. Next, print hello into 10, this is also a same manner, it is going to print 10 times. So here print hello plus world, what happens is it is going to combine the words of hello and world. So next, print hello plus world, it is going to combine hello world. Next, print hello world, it is going to print hello world. The way of giving input is, the output is same, but way of giving input is different. Here you can see a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. The values are a comma b comma c. You are going to get the values are 10, 20, 30. Next, a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. Print a comma b comma c is scp is equal to comma, means a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. You are going to get. Next, print a comma b comma c scp is equal to colon you have given. Scp means separation, and you are going to get 10 colon 20 colon 30, means whatever the separate operation you have written, based upon the value it is going to separate. Next, print statement we are giving. So here what print statement, if you are not giving any statement, whatever the print statement you are giving, it is going to print that particular print statement. So next, print hello, I am going to get hello. Print Srinivas, I am going to get Srinivas. Print Kumar, I am going to get Kumar. So if you want print statement with some space, hello space Srinivas space Kumar, you have to give like this, print hello and is equal to, you have to give single quotes, one single space here. Print Durga, you have to give one single space. Print soft, you are going to get hello Durga soft. In the same way, you can print various different types of objects. We can print strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and all these things. So here I is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. T is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Here I is a list. How you are defining I is a list? Here I have given in square braces. Next, T is a tuple. How you are identifying T is a tuple? Here I am giving T value in a normal braces. So next, print of I means whatever the statements in I am going to have, print whatever the statements I am having in T, I am going to print. So next, S is equal to Durga, A is equal to 48, S1 is equal to Java, S2 is equal to Python. Here I have given 4 inputs. So based upon the 4 inputs, let us print. So print hello yes, your age is A. Means what? Hello yes, what is yes? Hello yes, hello Durga, your age is A, your age is 48. I am going to get that output. Next, print you are teaching S1 and S2. You are teaching, what is the thing I have written in S1? Java and Python. In S2 I am having Python. These are the outputs I am going to get. Even you can give like this also. So I am having a different data types like int for I, percentage I, int, percentage D, int, percentage F, float, percentage S, string. So here this is a program for defining how you can print different values. So I have given A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30. Print A value is percentage I, comma A. So A value is A, you are going to get. A value is percentage I, comma A, means it is going to check whether it is an integer type or not. Percentage I defines integer. In a percentage I, you can write percentage D also. Percentage D also defines integer. So A value is, it is going to check whether integer or not. If it is integer, it is going to print that value. So A value is 10 I am going to get. Next, print B value is percentage D and C value is percentage D, percentage B comma C. So you are going to get B value is 20 and C value is 30. So it is first, while printing, it is going to check data type whether it is correct or not. After checking, it is going to print. So next example, S is equal to Durga, list is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Next print hello percentage yes. So hello Durga, the list items are percentage yes of, here I have written yes comma list, means whatever the values I have given in yes, print that value in yes, and whatever the values I have given in list, print that values in list. So hello percentage yes, hello Durga, the list items are 10, 20, 30, 40. So if you want to print the values by defining like this, definitely you have to write like this. I have above I have given s value, above I have given list value. Please check those values and print them. So here name is equal Durga, salary is equal 10,000, GF is equal Bunny. So here I am going to print based upon these inputs. Print hello 0, your salary is 1, and your friend 2 is waiting. So here what is 0 1 2 means dot format. Here I am using a statement of dot format. Name, here I have giving a list. So name, salary, GF I have written. Here the name is a 0 position, salary is a first position, GF is a second position. So hello 0, what is a 0th position? Name, hello Durga, your salary is 1, your salary is 10,000, your friend 2 Bunny, GF is 2, Bunny is waiting. So like that also you can give. There is a second method, like you can give like print hello x, your salary is y, and your friend z is waiting. Dot format, x is equal to name, y is equal to salary, z is equal to GF. Means hello Durga, your salary is 10,000 and your friend Bunny is waiting. So in these manners you can perform the operations. So this is what the concept regarding input and output statements.